Well, welcome back to Cardboard Swords and another FaB for Less budget deck tech. We've got a £25 budget for a competitive Victor GOLDMANE list, and I turn to Ian to help me out on this one. So this is his Golden Glory list. Let's get in.
Victor GOLDMANE is an arrogant young guardian from Solana who doesn't just think he's better than you, he knows it. Wealth is everything to Victor. Whenever he creates a gold from a source he controls, he draws a card as well, because hey, why not? The second part of his hero card allows him to twist things in his favour with his wealth. The first time each turn he'd fail to win a clash, he can destroy a gold he controls and redo the clash. Like any good guardian, Victor's got an array of weapons he can use. First up, he appears to have borrowed Anathos off Bravo. I'm sure he'll return it someday. And it's just as good in Victor's hands as it was in Bravo's. Coming in for 4, but coming in for 6 if he's got 2 or more cards in his pitch zone with cost 3 or greater. And hey, he's a guardian, he's going to. The second weapon is a new one from Heavy Hitters, Miller's Grindstone. An ornate blacksmith hammer that Victor uses to great effect. If he hits an enemy with this, he can clash with them. And if he wins, well, he can destroy the top card of their deck. Sure, there's a downside if he loses the clash, but no, it's not going to happen, is it? When Victor's using Miller's Grindstone, he's got a hand free. He can either use Steelblade Buckler, blocking for 2 and then 1, or if he's up against those pesky rune blades with their annoying arcane damage, he can use Arcane Lantern and take some of the sting out of it. On a budget, Victor can't quite flaunt the rest of his wealth on equipment, so he's had to make do with some budget picks. Stand Ground and Bigger Girth is hand-me-down from Heavy Hitters. He's Golden Glare, the helmet that is made just for him, but he's also managed to find Crater Fist, an old Guardian staple. Enough about his equipment though. What does Victor actually want to do? He's great, he can do a bit of everything. He's a pretty mid-range hero. He's going to want to block with a couple of cards from hand, and then he's going to want to inflict maximum pain on his opponent with the remaining cards. Supporting this, you've got cards like Test of Strength and the Almighty Trance. Cards that when they block, clash with the opposing hero. And of course, if he wins a clash, Victor gets those prizes. If he loses, of course, they might get some reward, but that's not going to happen on Victor's watch. Thanks to his hero ability, if he doesn't like the result, he can spend a gold to redo it. Given how important and easy winning clashes is for Victor, we've got a few more cards that defend in here, such as Test of Vigour, creating a Vigour token, making everything cheaper on his next turn, and Clash of Vigour, an attack action card that, in a pinch, also generates some much needed vigour for Victor. But what about when winning clashes isn't enough? What if you want even more reward to show your greatness? Well, that's where cards like Wallet and Funk come in. If these cards are revealed as part of a clash that Victor then goes on to win, and of course, why wouldn't he gets even greater rewards as befits his status. Of course, when Victor gets bored of toying with his prey, just blocking all day, he wants to hit them, and he revisits the crush effect that Guardians have loved so much since the early days of Welcome to Wraith. If they do more than 4 damage to a hero, they gain extra effects that your opponent will want to avoid. Of course, these cards are also great in a clash as well. Whilst don't necessarily have any effects when you reveal them, hey, big numbers win. Being a Guardian, Victor of course has access to some of the best and heavy hitting cards around, like Thunderquake and the always awesome Macho Grande, which comes in with Dominate just as part of its own ability, guaranteeing that no opponent will be able to stop it effectively. Of course, you always need some dirty tricks as well, and well, Zealous Belting is fantastic for that. If you've pitched a card with higher power, it gets Go Again, creating even more damage for your opponent to defend against. And well, if your weak opponent hasn't blocked correctly, why not punish them with Pummel, forcing through more damage and discarding cards from their hand. Even on a budget, it wouldn't be a Victor list without the Golden Sun himself, Victor's Specialization attack action, coming in for 7, or, if he's destroyed a gold, gets +3 in overpower, coming in for 10 and being hard to defend against for your opponent. Why stop there? If you reveal this card as part of a clash that Victor goes on to win, create a gold token as well. Why not dip into the family coffers some more and really show off how brilliant you are?
Well Ian, I've got to say, for 25 quid this list looks cracked, but it's time to see if you brought it home on budget. We've got 48 cards in the list, so there's room for a little sideboard when the budget allows. 14 of the cards have that clash synergy which helps make the deck tick. And there's 5 Majestics in here, including a piece of equipment. I can't believe this came in on budget. Go on then, what was it? How much did you blow the budget by? €28.70. What? And with the current exchange rate, that's just £24.57. Ian, mate, I reckon you knocked this one out of the park, but the question still remains, can it compete? And we'll be answering that question when Ian takes this deck to an armory soon. So if you enjoy what we're doing here and you want to see the gameplay, like, subscribe, and we'll see you then.